Hi guys, welcome back to the shack. Thanks for stopping by. Tonight I'm gonna be making two videos. So if you guys have been waiting for the Atezr, not sure I'm saying that right, but that's how I'm gonna pronounce it in a little Alabama lingo. Atezr, I guess you would say. It looks like Atezr, but either way, got the P20 in tonight, and I'm gonna do two different videos because I know some of you guys already have the machine and really don't care how I go about putting it together. And some of you may not have the machine yet, or either you got it coming and you do want to know how I put it together. So I'm going to be splitting those two videos. So if you're looking for the assembly video and you want to watch that first, guys, I'll drop a link down below to the video on me assembling it. And this is just me straight out of the box, following the directions, doing it the way they showed, and try not to make as many mistakes as I can help. So if that's something you're interested in, look for the link down below and you can go watch the assembly and then come back and watch this one if you want, because I'm going to be linking both videos to each other. But this video is going to be all about testing the machine, okay? I've got it put together now. I've did a little test burn using the offline controller. The machine works. I verified that everything is doing what it's supposed to. So now it's time to put this thing in light burn, get it set up, and see what it's got. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around. All right, guys, for my first light burn run, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this guy and basically put me a circle in the work area. I'm going to set that circle to, I don't know, 100 by 100. I want to do a nice big circle. All right, I'm setting that to a cut, and I'm going to run the power at, let's see if it'll do it. Let's go 8 millimeters a second, 100% output at one pass, and go from there. Let me frame this guy up and see where it's going. Kind of cheating, make it go a little quicker. Okay, so I've got that framed up. It's going to be a 100 millimeter circle. I'm running at 8 millimeters per second. I've got the air assist all the way up. I did set the focus earlier to that material, and here we go. Normally I run 6 millimeters a second, but if the output of this thing is the true 24 watts, I honestly believe it can do it at 8 millimeters per second. And I think I'll get a cleaner cut, less charring, and less soot at this speed. So I'm going to see what happens. And if I got it set right, it should go to the top left corner after the burn's completed. Nice. 8 millimeters a second. That's a clean cut, guys, at 8 millimeters a second. Huh. All right. So I'm going to use my scorch marks there. I think that's the one I just did. Maybe that's it. Not sure. I'm going to decrease the size of that circle slightly so I can continue to use it. I'm going to make this circle 90 by 90. All right, I'm going to run this cut at 9 millimeters per second. 100% power. See what it does. 9 millimeters a second, guys, and I'm seeing flashback underneath the honeycomb. It is just blasting through this 4.5 millimeter Luan. One little snag, and that very well could be the material. So I'm gonna walk that down. I'm gonna move my circle. I'm gonna change it now to 80 by 80. And I'm gonna go on up to 10 millimeters per second. See how that does. The travel speed on this guy is really good. I do like that. It doesn't waste time getting to where it's going. Everything's smooth. The limit switches are working like they should. Air assist, from the sound of it, is definitely doing a pretty good job of a consistent airflow. So all in all, guys, really pleased. This is just excessive, and it almost did it, but I think we're at that point now to where that's a little too fast. But that is 10 millimeters per second, 4.5 millimeter Luan. So definitely an improvement. All right, guys, let's try something crazy that we probably shouldn't do now. All right, guys, you guessed it. I'm gonna do a little drop test here with some different materials. I'm gonna start out. I have a piece of cedar. Let me get my mic. All right, so starting off, we'll be doing 8.7 millimeter cedar. This is some cedar that I cut on the mill. Came from right here in Alabama. So I'm gonna move this guy over here to where I can focus it. The location of that knob is going to take some getting used to, but I do like that better than some of the other machines. So, got that back centered. I'm going to rehome the machine. I'm going to decrease the size of my circle to 20 millimeters to accommodate my material that I have in there. And I'm going to go ahead and frame and see how close I got. Okay, I'm gonna move it up just a little and to the left. All right, let me get the camera around here where you guys can see a little better. All right, here we go. 3 millimeters a second. I'm trying to do it in one pass with this thing because I know it's capable. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I can see the beam through the bottom at this speed. So we definitely could go up in our speed just a little bit. All right, clean drop. And that was at 3 millimeters per second. This material, let me get my screen where I can see if 3 millimeters a second at, it says 8.8 now. It was a little higher than that earlier. Let me re-zero. 8.9 millimeter material, cedar, at 3 millimeters a second. So let me speed it up to 4 millimeters a second and see what it does. All right, I'm seeing the beam through the bottom. So it is definitely going to cut it at 4 millimeters per second as well. And I'm not seeing any flames. I think that's a big credit to the air assist. So that one didn't quite make it all the way through, but as you can see, it almost did. So 3 millimeters a second, one pass on this almost 9 millimeter cedar. All right, I'm gonna leave the same settings I just had in there. 3 millimeters per second, 100% output, 5 passes. This is pine. Pine generally cuts a little easier than poplar and some of the other woods that I use. But this is basically a piece of 3/4 inch material, which is well beyond what you should be trying to cut with a laser in my opinion. But I just want to see, because I'm seeing light through the bottom somewhat. That's just one pass. All right, I got light coming through the bottom. That's the second pass. Oh yeah, this thing's digging. That's 3 and it fell. So definitely 3/4 inch pine is doable. So now that we got just the insane testing out of the way, guys, let's do some more real world testing. All right, so just for those of you that want to know, that's 19 millimeters or 0.74 inches. So that's a piece of 3/4 inch pine in 3 passes. Relatively clean cut. You do got a little bit of charring on the bottom, but anytime you get that far out of focus with the diode laser, you're gonna get some nasty looking cuts in the bottom end, so that is to be expected. All right guys, I'm gonna fast forward through part of this, but I'm gonna go ahead and start this test grid, and let's see what this thing's capable of. All right guys, so got the test run done. This is 1/4 inch MDF. This stuff is really thick, really hard, and a lot of guys complain about having a hard time with it. This is actually 6 millimeters thick. So that's a lot thicker than what most of you guys are gonna be cutting. But I wanted to use the machine to test this material out, because I do have a lot of people complaining that it's hard to cut. And this is just using the compressor that came with the machine, and I've put a lot of pressure on these to try to push them out. They're not going to come out, and if you look at the back, there's not a whole lot. This is some other stuff that I've been doing on this piece, but there's not a whole lot of penetration on the back here. But however, I did get the first row, all of those came out. That is ranging in speed from 3 millimeters per second. Here is 4 millimeters per second right here. So at 3 millimeters per second, pretty much anything from 80% up to 100%, you're gonna get a good cut, and it's gonna be a clean drop. These up here, there's a few little pieces still holding on, but it did make it out. And this is 4 millimeters per second from about 93% up to 100%. So for my first test, I think that's really, really good. This thing performs really well on the pine, the cedar, even the poplar. The 4.5 millimeter, it just slays that stuff. So far I am very pleased with the performance out of it. The one thing that I will say is this was done with surface focus only. I didn't try to cheat the focus down any. I could have done that and probably got a little bit better results on the cut. This machine doesn't have the secondary adjustment for bringing the focus down, so you'd have to kind of do that manually. But in some of my future testing, I do plan to drop the focus down as much as I can and try to do a little bit better job of it. I'm also anxious to see how much of a difference it makes if I run this thing on shop air like I do my other machine that I use for my primary. So those are two things that I plan on doing in the future. But for right now, guys, I'm kind of stuck because this thing is way bigger than any enclosure that I currently have. The width, it will fit my secondary enclosure, but the depth, it's about 1.5 inches short, and also it's going to not leave a whole lot of room for my cables, even if I extend the front of that enclosure. So I'm kind of up in the air about what I'm going to do about that situation. But I can say this, from what I've seen so far, this machine definitely has a home here at the Clack Shack. So you're probably going to be seeing a lot more videos with this machine, because the output of it, the speed, the smoothness, I think I'm ready to kind of bench one of my other machines right now and go ahead and put this guy into service. And only time will tell which machine gets benched, but we'll see. But I hope the video was helpful, guys. Like I said, if you're looking for the assembly of the machine, I'm going to drop the link to the assembly video down below. You can click that and go see how I put it together. I did follow the directions. The directions were really pretty decent, considering some of the lasers that I put together didn't have very good directions. This one was actually fairly easy to follow, well laid out. All the screws were in bags, so I'm gonna give it an A+ on assembly, the ease of assembly. Light burn setup, the light burn setup was a breeze. Simply plugged it into the USB, looked for the laser using the utility inside Lightburn. It found it. It already assigned all of the settings that needed to be assigned. I had to go in and enable the laser to come on while framing, and that was pretty much it. That was the only step that I had to do to get the machine to be operational. Now, I will tell you, the traditional honeycombs are not going to be big enough to sit this guy on. Luckily, I have a Comgrow honeycomb that is substantially larger that I think will accommodate it, but I've got to do something about an enclosure. So, because this thing does produce a lot of smoke. I had to open the shop doors during this little test burn here, and that's something I've got to avoid. So I'm gonna have to figure out where I'm gonna land on an enclosure. But appreciate you for stopping by, guys. If nothing else, check out the other video if you have any problems with your machine, putting it together and adjusting everything. But until next time, guys, be safe and have a good day.